with the Carolina Panthers seemingly turning a corner with the offense since the insertion of Andy Dalton into the quarterback position, the Carolina Panthers defense, on the other hand, has suffered some setbacks, including 2 more last week. With the Black Cats coming in this week facing an apparent young rookie quarterback himself, would you believe the Carolina Panthers are actually looking as underdogs in this one as well?
I don't believe anything.
Well, believe it. Want to find out who their opponent is and what they can do to pull out the victory? Stay tuned to Growlin' and Prowlin'. Welcome back, Panther Nation. Thank you so much for catching up with us today. I am, of course, the one and only Mr. CeeLo here, joining you yet again as we prepare to take on another formidable foe, this one from the NFC North. Nothing in the works as far as housekeeping goes. I've got 2 more subscribers that I don't know who you guys are, so please, guys, right here, I'm saying right here at the beginning of the show, please, 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 if you just put your name in the comment section. I want to keep up with all of you because we are one subscriber away from giving away that t-shirt that I was telling you guys about. And guys, guess what? I still haven't designed it yet.
Damn you!
Yeah.
You fucking idiot.
But we got to get it given away. And I can't give it away if you guys aren't known. So please get that done for me. And guys, ladies and gentlemen, there are, as you all know, Hurricane Helene hit in Florida, and we took a direct shot in my hometown as well. So we're still recovering. Some of us have electricity, some of us don't. I'm blessed that we were one of the first, because I live in the city of Dublin, and there have been so many positive people that have been out there cutting trees down, getting the electricity back into place, the internet. And just so many people that have been giving away things and so on and so forth. I was trying to watch the news and give a growl out to all of these people, but I got to give 2 growl outs. One to my buddy Scott, who owns a tree business up in Athens. And then there's my buddy Jay, who owns the local gym here in Dublin. He's allowed people to take showers who don't have access to running water or electricity. Jay Bailey and Scott Russian. These guys are awesome. You guys check them out. Do business with them, because we always need people that are in the community that are out there serving you, whether they're getting monetary value for their efforts or not. God bless both of you, and we appreciate you, and all the heroes that are out there helping us during this really hard time. I make content. I'm blessed. That's what I do. But at the same time, we always got to look out for the ones that are doing the work, doing the dirt behind the scenes. Growl out to you. Now, we also give our sympathies to those that lost loved ones during this horrible event that rarely happens in this area. So a lot of the people that were affected, they've never dealt with this. I know I haven't dealt with this, and even this town had never dealt with anything of this magnitude. So please, 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 if you know people that were affected by this tragic event, please reach out to them and make sure they're okay mentally. There's a lot of people that lost everything, and I was blessed that we didn't lose anything. We only had minor damage, but God can fix that. But I'm very grateful that we didn't have that issue. But to all those that did, God bless you, and may there be people that reach out to you and help you out in God's grace. Now, we get on to the business at hand, which is our 1-3 Carolina Panthers go into Soldier Field to face the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams. Now, this is interesting, ladies and gentlemen, because Caleb Williams has not been the guy that many people thought he was going to be. Now, Caleb Williams has played 2 more games than Andy Dalton, and look at this. Caleb Williams is 87 for 141, 787, 3 scores, 4 interceptions. Dalton, however, is 51 of 78, 539, 5 touchdowns, and an interception. Now, I'm not even going to get started on Caleb Williams being a bad quarterback, because here's the thing, Panther Nation. You know as well as I do, we've had our struggles with Bryce Young. But here's the reality, and this is what I will tell anyone. The big issue facing the Chicago Bears is what our organization is right now. It's a mess. And right now, despite the weapons that Caleb Williams has, I think it boils down to what Mike Wilbon said on one of his shows a couple of weeks ago. They didn't know what they were doing when they drafted this kid. And then you look at what Jaden Daniels is doing over in Washington. It's a simple principle of you get what this guy needs, give him the type of coach he needs, and give him the type of plays he wants to be called. Because if you look at it, a lot of what it is, Jaden Daniels was running a lot of things that he just wasn't comfortable with. And then all of a sudden, Cliff Kingsbury decides, okay, let me put some things in there that Jaden's comfortable with. And the reality of it is, on my other show, Gridiron Gab Pro Style, check it out, you guys. I said that I thought Jaden Daniels was the better quarterback, being that in order for Caleb Williams to be successful, he's going to have to get on a roll. He's one of those quarterbacks that when he gets hot, he will carve you up. Which leads me to what the Carolina Panthers need to do this week. Now, the ESPN analytics says we are going to the Bears are almost 2-1 favorites in this game. They've got a 63% chance to win this game. Now, the truth of the matter is we're looking at Ian Thomas was designated to come back. He was on injured reserve, just like Dane Jackson. He's on IR, set to return. Jalen Coker is questionable. Then you look over here at the Bears, and you look at, there's not a lot of that you look at on guys that are coming. Now, as you all know, Shaq Thompson's on injured reserve. Trevon Wallace he will start this week, the rookie. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, how are we going to? And the rookies look good in his limited snaps. I like the kid, but the problem I have is, when you're looking at Trevin Wallace, and the speed is undoubted. There's no doubt I like Trevin Wallace's speed, but it looks so much better if he's not out there by himself. And what I mean by that is, if you got Josie Jewell out there, that looks a lot better. Now you're asking Wallace to do it all by himself. And this is exactly why I said you have to have a guy like a Frankie Louisville. This is why I was totally against Frankie Louisville going bye-byes, or even Jeremy Chin, because Washington got a steal with him. Now you're in a situation again. But let's go down the injury report right now. Josie Jewell did not practice. Shaq Thompson, of course, he did not practice. Deontay Johnson was limited Thursday and Friday. Charles Harris was limited on Wednesday and Thursday, and then, of course, he was a full participant. Robert Hunt was limited all 3 days. Damian Lewis was limited and was a full participant Friday. Nick Scott limited all 3 days. Shy Tuttle limited all 3 days. And see, this is huge because, now we're looking at Ian Thomas. He was limited every day. And, of course, Dane Jackson was limited. And, honestly, this is not a big one. But I would say this, Tommy Tremble did not practice Thursday, was limited today. I'm a huge belief that we're going to have to win this game on the fly, on the seat of our pants. Now, I did say that I thought Jonathan Brooks was coming back this week. No. I was incorrect on that. I had gotten a source that basically said that Brooks was a limited participant in practice, in which he was, but he's not going to come back this week. So I don't think we need him back just yet either. And the fact of the matter is that this guy in Chuba Hubbard has played so well. I love the way he's playing. I love exactly what he's doing as far as bringing that next level that so many people hear. I heard them say he's not a complete back like CMC. Okay, he wasn't asked to do a lot of that at Oklahoma State. And Gundy would have probably prospered more with Chuba Hubbard had he had him do that more. because I can't remember the kid's name. He ended up being drafted in the NFL when Chuba was at Oklahoma State. He was a pretty darn good player, and he tore his ACL as well. Tylan Wallace. He and Tylan Wallace were a huge, major 1-2 punch at Oklahoma State. And this is when Spencer Sanders was a freshman, if I remember correctly. And then when these two graduated, it was downhill for him, and he ended up transferring. But Mike Gundy didn't get enough out of Chuba Hubbard. He did not develop this kid well enough, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. Chuba Hubbard has turned into a huge, a great player. And arguably one of the top 10 backs in the game right now because they have a running game. And I'll revert a lot of you back to last year and the year before, right after the early stages of before Steve Wilkes took over. He was garbage. He was trash. He was this, that, and the other. He's too light. He doesn't break tackles. The problem is we had injuries on that offensive line each of the past 2 seasons, not counting this one. And we still got injuries on this one. I don't even know if Christensen's a full go if we need him. So, we finally have a offensive line that is healthy. And it's showing. Because the running game is finally starting to pick up. And I'm going to be honest with you. As much as I love the way Andy Dalton's playing, the passing game doesn't need to be, it needs to be down the field. That's where it needs to be. And really, now, looking at this team and you say, okay, they allow right at 18 a game. And that's way more than what we average. I mean, that's way less than what we average. And you're giving up 295 a game, and they give up right at 5 yards, and they a play. So then you look at most teams run 45% of the time against them. And then you look at teams average 121 yards on the ground. Where it gets scary is this. Teams only throw the ball for 174.5. This plays right into Carolina's hands. This plays right into Chuba Hubbard's wheelhouse. And honestly, looking at what this team does, we've got to master that. We've got to take advantage of that big time. We have to be willing to go into Soldier Field and run this football. Because we can't afford to try and throw football. Because look at it. These numbers tell the truth. They say that they get a sack on almost 8% of the dropbacks. So what you're saying is pretty much if Dalton throws the ball 50 times, he's going to get sacked at least 4 times. That's minimal. So you can't afford to go out there and just lose your mind trying to. I'm going to say it just like this. I think a guy who's got to get in, Trimble's going to have to get involved, but I think a guy who is going to have to be featured more often than not in this game is going to have to be Jonathan Mingo and Tommy Tremble. Everybody keeps saying Xavier Legette. Here's the thing. Legette's a good player. But you can't forget about Mingo. As I've said many times, Mingo and Legette are the same type of player. And I get it. But see, here's the thing. Canellis and everybody else in that Panther locker room is going to have to get. You still got 2 more seasons with this guy. You got this season, then you got 2 more. And then you decide on his, he doesn't have a 5th-year option. You got 2 years and that's it. You got to decide. And the reality of it is, this is a good player. This is has the ability to be an elite player, especially when you're asking him to either be the 3rd option or the 4th option. Tommy Tremble's another guy. You may not want him, but I'm going to be honest with you. Between he and Chuba Hubbard, you can say, hey, listen, let's keep this guy around for a little while longer. You can get him at a good price. You got the cap space. There's not many guys we have to re-sign next season. But anyway, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Right now, I'm looking at the Bears and I'm thinking, if we can slow the game down and put some kind of pressure on Caleb Williams and have him make mistakes. I love what I'm seeing out of Mike Jackson and J.C. Horn. Everybody's roasting Mike Jackson and Woods because of what the missed tackles they had last week against Jamar Chase. Hey, listen, that's an elite offensive football team. What it does is it shows us where we are and where we are not. It's just that simple. We can sit here and we can kick, scream, holler, throw a hissy fit, and say what we want. That's what it boils down to. Because right now, Andy Dalton's doing a phenomenal job spreading the ball all over the yard, exactly what Dave Canellis wanted. I'm not gonna retract my statement, because the reality of it is, yes, we still, maybe this is gonna be, I hope it's a good move, but here's the reality of it. Bryce needs to be learning. Because as I told many of you guys before, it doesn't do us a bit of good if we finish 9-8 and we lose we don't make the playoffs. Doesn't do us a bit of good, guys. It does not. But as I said, as far as the injury side goes, Jewell is out. Charles Harris is questionable. Chateau, as I said, is questionable. And we need Jadeveon Clowney to show up like yesterday. I mean, DJ Johnson's playing better. We're still waiting on Amari Bono and DJ Wanham. We need those guys like to come back like yesterday. And, as I said, Troy Hill's been really quiet. He's a guy that I usually expect big things out of, but I haven't heard much out of Troy Hill this year. So I'm not saying that he's playing badly, but, he's a guy that I'm used to hearing things out of, and I haven't seen much of him as of right now. He's got 10 tackles on the year, but generally you see him making those huge plays that you're accustomed to seeing him be involved in. But as far as the Chicago Bears go, this is the reunion of the reunion or the revenge game that DJ Moore will look at. This is the team that the Carolina Panthers traded. It's the house for to get Bryce Young, and then they turn around and they had our first pick next year with nothing in compensation, but it was just because we didn't win but 2 games last year. So they were able to snatch Caleb Williams, and right now they're going through their growing pains. And as I said, I am looking. There are a lot of experts picking the Bears to win this game. I think we run the football. But here's the drawback. I think the Bears are going to try to do the same thing, which is disaster for us. Now, last week we did a pretty good job against the Bengals. But we're going to have that same effort. Now, I'm going to predict that we are going to run the ball, and they're not. We contain Caleb Williams. We even pick him off. And we come out of there with a win. I'm going to say it's probably going to be something along the lines of a 21-17 game. Now, with that, you guys, I want you guys to pay close attention in this game to what the offensive line looks like and what Trevin Wallace looks like. It's going to be important if this guy is going to be there for the near future. I would imagine that I'm hoping that they bring Shaq Thompson back, but I don't know what they're going to do as far as that goes. Jewell is signed up for another 2 years, if I recall correctly. I don't see Shaq taking another pay cut. Maybe he will. I'd love for him to, and finish his career as a Carolina Panther. But unfortunately, this is a business at the end of the day, and unfortunately, you can't ask a guy who's at the end of his career and he's still playing at a high level. He just has had 2 major injuries that, many people are saying this could be it. Shaq obviously has said it's not. But guys, I'm taking the Carolina Panthers to win in the Windy City. I hope you guys are the same. And as I said, I hope you guys enjoy the game. But that's going to do it for us, you guys. Make sure you hit me up on Instagram at Mr. CeeLo. Find out all the shows that I'm involved in. Also, make sure you comment and like and subscribe down there. There are some of you guys that are members of the Growlin' and Prowlin' group on Facebook, but you are not subscribed. And if you're on the group, make sure you let me know on the group that you're subscribed to the channel, because I want everybody to have a shot at the Growlin' and Prowlin' t-shirt that I'm still designing. But until the next time, you guys, keep prowling the airwaves and keep growling out. Keep pounding.